start off, just kind of what can this weekend do in terms of confidence? Like I said to Raider, it hasn't been the greatest of weekends the last few weeks, but what can this weekend do for you guys going to Big Ten play?
Hopefully it gives us some confidence, and we had 3 games where we kept our free bases under 10, which is a big improvement from where we've been a couple weeks ago. That needs to become the norm and less if possible, and it needs to be an accountability situation in the clubhouse that's who we are, and that's how we go about our business and what we're going to do. And the bullpen did a great job this weekend and really limited the free bases, cut them back big time, and our offense executed it at an incredible clip. I mean, we were 13 for 13 with runners at third and less than 2 outs. We won every 3-2 count but one on the day. So all the team stuff, the stuff that we focus on that helps win games, we got better at this weekend. And we had an opportunity to see what we were made of today from the toughness standpoint. It didn't go well. Marcus's start didn't go well. Whitlock got hit around, in the second inning, and we find ourselves down 5 runs, and on a day like today, with the way the wind's blowing and how crazy it was, I mean, we hadn't really threatened much since the first inning, and a lot of teams would have just died, and we didn't. We bounced back with an incredible 6th inning, incredible 7th inning, and ended up winning by the 10-run rule and just stringing hit after hit. So many guys had great games offensively, but Raider Tello had an incredible day. 9 hits on the day, but 5 hits in game 2, and led off a bunch of those innings. So it was good to see Lanu get in and bounce back from his appearance at Georgia that didn't go great, and closed it out after the rally, and Volkers did a nice job of settling things down for us. But just overall, it was a really good weekend. Some defensive stuff in that game that hurt us, not a lot, but Petey misplays the ball and that type of thing. But Gable made some great plays. There was great play on the infield, I thought, all weekend long, and just overall really pleased that we showed some toughness and fought back and found a way to get a sweep, because sweeps aren't easy.
There's a lot to unpack from these 2 games with a lot of runs. But talking about the pitching in that first game, I mean, Cade had an okay start. He ran into some things here and there, and then obviously Jack Young comes in, gets a couple outs, and then Savory got him out there for a longer outing of 3 innings. Just kind of your thoughts on the pitching in the first game.
Yeah, I mean, Cade gave us a great start, but then when things started to unravel, we didn't stop it. It turned into a 6 spot, and that can't happen. I mean, that's the message there, is that when something happens, an error happens, or a mistake happens, that that he steps up and shuts it down, says it's over, and takes charge, and that's growth and maturity that's there and it's coming, and that's the lesson from that game. Really, that's the only blip in that game. Other than that, I thought he pitched great, but for the most part, that was an extremely well played game in game 1. You can take the offense and basically, I can say almost the same thing I said about game 2, how we executed, runners at third, less than 2 outs, 3-2 counts that we won, and putting pressure on them inning after inning after inning. I mean, it was a clinic really on how to go out and just relentlessly, grind out at bat after at bat and put pressure on the opponent. And I was really super pleased with how well we played that game, minus the big inning that, in certain instances are going to get us beat, which has got us beat, earlier this year.
And then in game 2, Marcus, you mentioned not a great start from him. Just what are you seeing from him right now on the mound that you can maybe point to as the reason why things are going sideways right now?
Well, it's just pretty much lack of command. I mean, that's it. he got nickel and dimed a little bit today, with some bloop hits, but for the most part, he was his own worst enemy. You can't walk two guys and hit a guy to lead the game off and expect to have much success. He got out of that with 3 strikeouts, but after that, it was just inconsistent. It just has to be. It has to be working ahead in the count and getting them to hit the pitches that you want them to hit, and not have to just try to throw it over to get a strike to not walk somebody. And so I thought the way it started out, his intent was good, and it was coming out really good. He just didn't have his great command, and it certainly cost him today.
We saw the pitcher that he can be last year through the second half of the season, so it's not a question of if it's there, but what's the concern level for him right now with, I think it's four weeks in a row now where it hasn't been great. Is there any concern there, or are you just still hoping they can get it? I mean, you're hoping they can get it going.
But. Yeah, I mean, he's just got to get with Sean this week and get some things figured out. I mean, I think he's feeling better. He had a little nagging deal going on with his arm that was nothing crazy, but more annoying and bothersome than anything, and that's been better. So I guess I was thinking today might be that breakout day, because I felt like with him feeling better, he was gonna have his good stuff and really go out there and just pound his own. But as bad as it may seem, I mean, he isn't very far away. So hopefully he and Sean can get together and get things cleaned up before next week. But we know it's there, obviously, and not going to give up. But Mark has to step up here soon.
You could name many people on the offensive side. Ray Dortello had 9 hits. Davis Kopp, I think, had 9 RBIs. Just kind of what stood out to you about what they were able to do at the plate today?
No, it was good to see. It was good to see him step up there with confidence, and our pitch selection all weekend against these guys was really good. I mean, you had laps here or there, but for the most part, we dominated the zone. We were taking fringe pitches early in the count. We weren't afraid to wait them out and get the 2 strikes if we had to. There was no panic, and that's what you see from our offense when that happens. Contrary to like the Jacksonville State Sunday, where the Cornelius kid was just dealing, but it was just corner, and we kind of caved, and so we started swinging at corner stuff early in the count and made a lot of weak contact. I think we had 12 ground ball outs, and just kind of fed into what he was doing. And from Coach Sutherland, our hitting coach, that was the message. Preparing for these guys all week, that's what they're going to try to do. That's what those lefties are going to try to do, is get you chase on the edge, get weak contact, get yourself out. And we can't be afraid to take those pitches. And if you end up having 2 corner pitches or fringe pitches called strikes, the odds of getting a third pretty slim. Odds go in your favor. You wait him out, you get a pitch to hit, boom, and that's what we did. And we did it all weekend. So that was really good to see our offense execute that way and execute the plan. And Davis Kopp, as you said, had some big hits for us and big RBIs and home runs. And it was just like you said. I mean, Petey had some big hits. I mean, they all did. Everybody contributed. Anyway, Andy Nelson trying him in the leadoff spot. He walked 4 times in game 2. He was on base a lot, and that was good to see, because Andy can also provide pop at the bat and steal a bag, and he's one of the fastest guys on the team. So I think a lot of things went really well for us, and we have a lot of stuff that we can take and build on, and one more midweek, and then we go to Purdue and see where we're at, and everybody gets a fresh start and a new part of the season, and here we go.
Last thing, obviously you run rule both games, but Western Illinois led 6-4 in the first game and 9-4 in the second game. What does it say about your team to be able to not only come back, but to be able to run rule them in 2 games?
Well, I mean, I just think that they showed a lot of toughness, and we talked at 9:20 this morning when we started to stretch. Whatever it takes, I mean, we have to do whatever we have to do to get this done. I mean, if the pitching isn't great, then we got to score more runs. If the pitching's great, we got to play great defense and find ways to score more runs than they do. But whatever happens, we just have to find a way to get it done. And for a while there, it looked like they wanted 1 out of 3 more than we wanted 3 out of 3, and the 6th inning turned that around, and we wanted 3 out of 3 maybe more than they did. And that was good to see because I've seen situations and felt situations like that where you're dead in the water. It's a real downer going down the way we did, and we hadn't really threatened in 4 innings, and to have our team bounce back the way they did and score 8 runs on a whole bunch of hits and clutch hits and 2-out hits, and it was just great to see them rally together. And I thought our dugout was outstanding, as it's been all year. But guys were in the game. It was a lot of good energy and super positive for each other, pulling for each other, and it was a good weekend for us to build on and hopefully take a lot of confidence into this week and Big Ten play starting Friday.